IIED for many years has been concerned about land acquisitions in Africa, and recently we've been looking also at the implications of these land grabs for water management. Many of the investments that are being made are in semi-arid parts of Africa where long-term sustainable agriculture is only really viable if there is an opportunity to irrigate. So many of the large land acquisitions are in areas that require some kind of water right, and this demand from foreign investors to obtain such rights from government is often being done in the absence of any broad framework for water rights throughout the river basin. So while investors might well be receiving water rights from government, that raises the question of what rights do traditional users have? What about the fishermen? What about the pastoralists? What about the people that depend on the river for market gardening? And these people may well be several hundred kilometers away from the upstream areas that are being irrigated through large land acquisitions. The issue is not so much that investors have no right to such water. It's more that because in the past many of the irrigation systems were state-run, the state was allocating water effectively to itself, two parts of the state working together. What has happened recently is that investors are asking governments to codify and formalize a water right for their use of irrigation water without necessarily thinking structurally about what that means for other users of the river. Will they be allowed to have a water right? And not necessarily thinking about what it means in the face of climate change. What may happen when water resources are less available than they are presently? Who will have priority access to those rights? And in the current framework, when governments are signing away rights to land and water for 50 years or 75 years, these companies will, or organizations will, have prior right to the available water because of the commitments that government has made. So this calls into question, for the first time really, a clear focus on who is the water available to and under what conditions, and what formal rights, what legal rights does any individual stakeholder along a river hold. And this has opened up a broad area for discussion that has been driven by the recent process of formally allocating rights to just one section of water users, and that raises the issue of what happens to all the other users. And this is something that IIED will be pursuing through this work and through work in coming years.